welcome to the second segment of the lead-in special Euro. Welcome back to segment 2 of the special edition.
That doesn't mean about the light. I know Zori.
Oh, I know it straight.
Oh,
Rangara kutora nika engo kasiri.
That is frame.
Return brightest. Rato boom.
Yeah, true.
Rakachapa. Sikapanda to invest in new light. Welcome back to segment 2 of the special edition of the lead-in. We're looking at the Euro 2020 last 16 games. Now the second big game, Germany and England. Football is coming home.
England.
Football is coming home. I'm telling you, Chris, football is coming home.
I hope they cheat you like they did in 2010.
You know, that's like my worst memory because that goal was supposed to be a Frank Lampard goal.
2010.
That's my worst moment.
I like Neuer's reaction. He picked up the ball, acted as if nothing happened,
Then just got on with the game.
kept on playing.
He didn't even give the ref a chance or a moment to doubt himself. He just played on.
So do you think VR, now that VR is there, will have a chance?
It's going to work in our favor because we do deserve the good luck at some point versus Germany.
First of all, those tactics against Germany, they will lose.
Okay, let's get serious now. I'll try to be as unbiased as possible.
Yeah.
Of course, okay, let's start with my team, England. What's going to happen now? My biggest question before we play this game is I know the Czech Republic game was serious because we wanted to get to be top of the group so that we keep the advantage of playing at Wembley. But, you know, we had already qualified. So to me, it was kind of serious, but not serious at the moment. At the same time, we brought in Harry Maguire. What's going to be, is it even going to be a selection headache for Gareth Southgate, or it's obvious that he's going to bring in Maguire for the Germany game, or he's going to stick with Tyrone Mings, who I thought did well for himself when he got the chance to play. He wasn't very bad.
Definitely.
So what's going to happen there?
No. For me, you know, I have two selection criteria. Would you go for someone who's, you know, vast experience, plays for a bigger team, you know? Obviously, the challenge and the weight at United is a bit heavier than it is at Aston Villa. But at the same time, we know Grealish is also at Aston Villa, but, you know, he's putting in performances. Mings did well, you know, when he did get his chance. But I highly rate you go with Maguire.
You go with Maguire. Fair enough, because I think maybe in terms of overall, when you look at everything, the ability, the experience, decision making, and even maybe leadership here and there, you need leadership in a back four. I think Harry Maguire is the best centre back that England have. You know, Stones might have something to say about that, but I think Harry Maguire is the guy.
Yeah.
And the fullbacks, you know, with England, I think that's the problem. There's always sort of so many questions regarding each position. Who would you be picking for the fullbacks, considering that you're gonna also be going against that 4-3-3 from Germany, where Horsens and Joshua Kimmich are going to be bombing up, staying very, very wide, so that they stretch your back four.
If I'm gonna, I mean, Southgate has been getting criticism. I think you know, everywhere we've been seeing it, and the media is ranting about that. There needs to be some form of consistency in the way that he, you know, picks his fullbacks or whatever. Because for me, I would just look at maybe performances that the players had. Maguire had a fairly good season with United. You finished second, but I mean, at the level that we want to play at, it's not really the best. Shaw was very good as well for United. You know, he added some dynamism in his game. After the injury against PSV, you know, if you roll back the years, when he came back, you know, he was a bit bigger, you know, gained a bit of weight. Of course, with injury, you know, he didn't play for good, I think, what was it, like 2 years or something, you know, came back, had recovered, his game looked a bit slow, he looked a bit reserved, but this season he just let it out, he just let it out. He played his game. I'll never forget the one against City, bombing up the field, scoring goals. So for me, I would go for the players who had a world-class season, and for me,
so definitely you're selecting Luke Shaw as your left back.
Sure, yeah, sure,
Right.
definitely. Then maybe if I just move forward, Trippier had a fantastic season with Atletico Madrid. These are people who have won some form of title at a team, or let's say their performances over a period of time
Contributed greatly to
contributed
winning.
greatly to the winning. So those are people who need to play. We look at Kevin Phillips. He played well for Leeds. Bielsa, I think, trusted him a lot with that CDM position. Was he playing CDM?
Yes,
for Leeds?
for Leeds, he
Yeah.
was an FCDM.
He came here and he showed his class and assist. The second game, he just kept it simple. He did the same job. Now the headache starts.
Yes.
From that back, okay, goalie, you're gonna go
Of
Pickford,
course, it's
obviously.
Pickford.
Yeah. Now the headache starts. Do I put someone next to Phillips, or do I allow
You have two central midfielders who are
central
gonna be
midfielders?
attacking. But I have to say, Chris, because that's where the situation sort of begins with England. There've been rumors in the past few days that maybe it's going to go to a 4-3-3. Maybe listen to what you said in the previous video where you said you need to have two guys from midfield supporting Kane. But the downside of that, the rumored people who are going to be there, they're saying it might be Declan Rice as the central defensive midfielder in the center, and the two number 8-10s who are going to be attacking might be Phillips and Henderson. That's where the problem is. Are you doing it right when you're not playing maybe a Phil Foden in that central position to support Kane a lot, or Mason Mount is not going to be available and Ben Chilwell because I don't know, whatever, they were in contact with Gilmore and he got COVID, so they're ruled out. So I think basically he's looking down the same route you said he must look down, where it should be a 4-3 thing. But I think he's going to try to be too conservative. As we know, Gareth Southgate is a very defensive coach. But I don't know if you agree with what is rumored to be doing and what you think he should do.
I think I'll just maybe have my lineup from the get-go. Pickford and goal, Trippier right back, Stones right centre back, Maguire left centre back, Luke Shaw left back, Rice, okay, yes, rightly so, CDM starts, Phillips, then I need a Foden there. Because if Foden plays there in the midfield, right, creativity is going to increase and everything. Then just like what he did for City, in as much as City do play with wingers, he was bombing up onto the wing. He was remember the Iniesta days, he definitely rode that back for City, right? I think maybe Pep probably said, you see, when I was coaching Iniesta, that Barca, just do this the exact same thing, for me.
But
So-
now I have a quick question for you, because when you say Pep and Foden, you put them in the same sentence, I have to then look at an article that I read about 2 days ago. It was your guy Wayne Rooney. He said that maybe Foden is not playing as well for England as he plays for Manchester City because he's used to being coached by Pep. Now he's being coached by a guy like Gareth Southgate. Maybe the tactics are not as high quality, maybe they're not as good as what he gets at Manchester City. Is that perhaps maybe a reason or a factor in why maybe we haven't seen the best of Phil Foden?
I was looking at what was it, a documentary? Every time you, let's say, go to another team, right, then you have formation change and everything, your quality should not drop because tactics have changed in whichever role that you're supposed to play. Sadly, here the tactics are not really the best, right? But even within those tactics, let's not question how good a player is playing just because of the tactics that are employed, maybe in that team. But it does take a toll. But for me, I just expect, Phil Foden to just, okay. Now, if he is now being coached by, let's say, Southgate, the chances of him playing the midfield.
The way you're saying it, you're making it seem now if he's being coached by a guy like Gareth Southgate, as if you think he's a lesser man.
No, he's not. No. He's not a lesser man. But what I'm just saying is probably that freedom, because if
Yeah,
I
not a
can-
good, not as good a coach as Pep, of course.
Yeah,
That's what you're saying.
because let's look at the chances of England winning if they put a good Phillips and Foden there at 10. Phillips is not going to give you your skills, your passes in between the lines or whatever, but he's just going to do the job. Just like Kante, in as much as he was playing defensively for Chelsea, he looked like someone was playing because he was winning the
a
ball,
lot of running, winning
high
the
up the
ball.
pitch, winning the ball. So Phillips can do that job there in the middle of the pitch, in the middle third, right? Phillips can do that. Then Foden gets into 10, support with Kane. Phillips can arrive late. Then for me on the wing, they have enough options on the wing. Why play Phil Foden there? For me, that's my opinion. Play Foden in the midfield. Sancho, or maybe if he likes the doctor, Rashford can play, on the wing. Sterling, of course, we know he's gonna start. He already has 2 goals in the tournament.
He's top goal scorer for England.
They'll trust the fact that he can get more goals for the team, or even though sometimes he's losing the ball quite a lot of times.
He's not like, I think you can tell by watching the games. He's not in his best form. We've seen him play
That's
way
not
better than
prime Sterling. Prime Sterling. So you will go for that then up top. We know in as much as
he's been terrible.
he's not the he's been terrible.
Yeah.
So I think for me that'll be my lineup. So, but for me maybe a Sancho. Here's my best bet. England, right? If I sometimes watch the way they play, during training. I mean, training doesn't really determine a lot of things, but if you see certain individuals enjoy themselves when they play with each other during training, then you need to do the same. Foden and Sancho, I think the other time they were on the same team, just you can see people who like each other when you see them, people who play together, people who want to win together. They score a goal, they're celebrating as if they won the Euros, but
it's just training, they're having fun.
It's just training, they're having fun. If you have a Foden who can finish the ball, left foot, right foot, silky, he's got flair. If it was FIFA, it would be a technical dribbler, if a technical dribbler in your team who can, squeeze through people, Germany, that back line, they can easily expose them. Rudiger might be won the Champions League, it's fine, but we know that sometimes he gets a bit rash.
He's reckless as ass.
Mhm.
Reckless as ass. Okay, so I think basically the question for England is just going to be the tactics.
The tactics, yeah.
But do you trust Southgate to go through the group phase, playing passive, defensive, boring football, to then just change it when he plays Germany, where I think we might actually be more scared to concede? Is he going to change or is he not going to change?
I don't think it's going to change.
So
that's what I think. My prediction
is based on that.
Is my prediction. No. My prediction is the way I want England to play.
Yeah.
Because if you look at that set of players, right, and you look at England we should be talking about England. But right now, if you hear the predictions and everything, England is not part of that team. Even Ian Wright was complaining about this. He was shocked that Foden came off 1, 2. How are we playing such average football? And I guess for me, I think we were speaking about it the other day. Is it a managerial problem that England has generated?
And I said I thought so.
You have always had stars in your team. I mean, Jim, the other time you went with Gerrard, Lampard, and Owen, Ashley Cole, David Beckham. You went with the best free kick taker, best long range takers. Owen, one of the best wingers, strikers. United, Liverpool.
And basically, I think we were the Belgium of those days.
It was the cream. It was the cream of everything, but nothing really sufficed. And honestly speaking, for this generation, I wouldn't want it to be like that. I would want, at least, let's see some. Let's say if we take a team like Hungary, right? We in as much as we know that, okay, maybe England, they will have maybe against an Italy or maybe a very big team, or let's say like let's say Germany,
Yes,
it's equally a big team. If you're not gonna come there with your A game, with your best players, with your cream, with everything you got, all guns blazing, it's not gonna work. Hungary, they did not change a single thing. They did not change their tactics. Believe in everything that they do and everything, and that definitely worked for them. In as much as they're out, they'll. If you're a football fan, you will always remember that they gave that group a tough time. There is no day any team played Hungary, and they exited the group without 2 points.
2 points, yeah.
2 draws, and
From France and Germany.
from France and Germany. You know, so for me, and even let's say the Portugal game, it's not a game I would say they deserve to lose, but of course there are days when they shot themselves directly into the foot. You know,
that's
right?
the lack of quality.
Right here by your key, so you can't even walk. You know, so yeah. But for me, Sancho, we need. Foden he is silky, he is pacey, but for those wingers, I would go for pace. You know, go for pure pace. Sancho and Sterling can give us pure pace. Then Foden can come in, pop up. They with King in the box or something. Then they can create chances like that.
You're definitely a lot more optimistic about the lineup than I am.
Well, maybe because you know your coach. You know.
I just don't trust Southgate to make
you-
as many changes as he needs to make.
Yeah.
I still believe that we do have a chance of winning, but I don't know. Maybe we are the France of the Euros, where we just play boring, but we get the result. That's what I'm hoping. I'm trying to look at it in the most positive way. But I don't think it's going to change much. But we have to look at Germany as well, because, you know, they're going to be the opposition. And, you know, as much as their results have been so inconsistent, some of their performances have been wonderful. You look at that Portugal game, I'm sorry to, you know, open old wounds, but you know how well they can play. They gave us sort of like their worst, but their best as well in the same, you know, in these 3 performances in the group stages. They can play well and play bad at the same time. So I don't know what to expect from Germany. That's the problem.
I think with Germany, it's another. That's another Portugal right there. You know, even though you know a couple of their old players are still playing, the integral part of that squad is now a bit young. You know, look at the front line. You know, Sane. You know, Gnabry. You know, everything. They you know, they're quite young, you know, energetic, and England, as Harvard's clearly did, he destroyed a couple of teams. You know, in England, they should know the qualities you should bring. As well as Gnabry, you know, when he played his good game against Chelsea as well, you know, that they should know it. They should know these players.
Wow.
They should know this player quite well. But if England don't match the dynamism that Germany are trying to put into their game, it's going to be a very tough game for England.
Especially from the wingbacks.
Very from the wingbacks. You know, Gosens, that Ancelotti ball, he literally came with it versus Portugal and it killed teams. So from the coach, even during practice, I'm not telling him what to do. If you're a good player, you need to know what you do best, and the day you realize it, then you go for it. You know, so that'll be. Then you have powerhouses in the midfield. You have Kimmich, you have Gundogan, you have Goretzka. They're not gonna come with less of a job mentality. They're just there to finish the job. I'll look at his reaction after he scored the goal against Hungary. He's not there to play, you know. Like you can see that he's just here to score goals, mark the ball in the midfield, play box to box, get results, and go home. So, but England, they don't look like they. How can the fans be more? It looks like the fans are more passionate than the players are sometimes, or maybe than the coaches. I don't know, but they definitely need to have a change in system. England, if they're really gonna hurt Germany.
So, but you were just expecting Germany to carry on playing 3-4-3, right?
3-4-3, it would definitely be that. I was actually also before the tournament started, we were watching the Germany game. We saw Kimmich, he's coming down the wing a lot. It's like, is it gonna work against Portugal?
It worked.
It worked to absolute perfection. I think that header from Gosens was an assist from Kim.
Yes,
So,
I remember.
I think they're just gonna play the same way.
But how is a guy like Thomas Muller? Because I don't know, he's gonna be doubtful this game. He missed the Hungary game with an injury as well. How big of a miss is he considering his experience? And as we were talking about Ronaldo in a couple minutes ago, how an experienced guy can just help the youngsters play even better when it comes to certain pressure situations. How are they going to miss a guy like Thomas Muller? He was also very brilliant playing his top game at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. I think in terms of missing, would I define them as missing Muller against that Hungary game? I don't think so. Because the replacements that came in, everyone came in there and did their job. Cruz turned into actually a young Muller for a bit, popping up 1-2 passes, getting shots into the box. So I have a feeling, they won't really miss him much. But of course, when it now comes to the dire stages of the tournament, if they do get past England, then we hope they don't, so that we can just see a change in England's play. But it will just be happy to hold up a shirt, offsetting that one at the end. But just in general, I think they won't miss him much. They should play at the top level come the England game. Yeah, they should.
So I think basically that's about it when it concerns England and Germany.
That's about it.
Give me your predictions before I give you the correct score.
Oh yeah, I'm giving you predictions.
Yes,
okay.
and I give you the correct score.
For me, I will have that memory of 2010. It's still quite fresh, and I don't need to have a journalist or commentator's curse or a media curse, but I'll go with a 2-1 win for Germany.
I think you've got the correct score. It's just the wrong way around. I think England, we have to rise above that.
You have to
rise above being cheated by the world of football. This is our moment. We've been waiting for this for 11 years.
I think VAR should be by your side. It should be. Maybe Foden can get a young, die there. With VAR, we look at it with one eye, be like, that's a pin, maybe. But yeah, I'm just happy that at least, in the much we can criticize VAR, at least we won't have drama like that happened in the 2010 World Cup where that was a.
You know what? I'm actually thinking it's going to be poetic justice. Phil Foden is going to score the exact same shot that Lampard did in 2010. That's the one that's going to come and go.
He's the one who's going to buzz.
Then we'll win it. That's going to be in the 89th minute.
No. I think it should be an exciting time, for football. Everything after COVID, everything, the leagues came back. Now the Euros. Football is just exciting, Before the knockout stages, we've had teams giving us underdog drama, like Hungary. I would want to give 100% credit to their coach, to everyone, for making these interviews, more fun, to talk about, the emotions and everything. But sadly, in Shona we say Team Ombe doesn't go. Team Ombe, so yeah, in English, the lion will always be the king of the jungle. An elephant might have size, a cheetah might have speed, but the lion always have the mentality. So we now need to see if the big teams can come with the mentality to be the kings of Europe.
Alright, no, that's great. So speaking of underdogs, let's give the other small matches with a lot of respect, of course. Just our predictions just before we wrap up. Wales and Denmark.
Wales, good run during the group stages. Denmark, they're very passionate about Christian.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think they're gonna win just because of that experience.
For them, this tournament is now more of a what can we do for our fellow teammates?
Yeah.
Can we uplift their spirits? For some reason, Christian Eriksen is a very good player, right? So
I think he was their best player.
best player. So is he not gonna be like, oh, my team lost because I didn't play? That might put more stress, on him and stuff. So, but at the same time, I know that if Denmark play to their 100% passion mark, if I can say, they should be able. But for me,
I'm just gonna say 1-0 Denmark.
I'm gonna go for a 2-0 win for Wales.
Wow. Italy, Austria.
Italy, Austria. I'm going with Italy. Like
Italy,
Italy,
just
like,
like-
actually, Italy. I'm sorry. I know Rich and Alaba might have to just say this one, but
Of course.
Italy, it will be tough. There's no game in those Euros that has come easy for any team. It could be even North Macedonia gave any team a run for their money.
Yeah.
But Austria, they're gonna have a run for their money, but the buttons stick at the end.
I say 2-0.
I see. Whatever result is gonna be, Italy are gonna be.
Say something. Yeah.
Immobile is gonna score 2. Like
Okay.
Italy 1.
3-0.
3-0.
Netherlands and Czech Republic.
Ooh, the Czech are going home. The Czech are going home. Oof.
But the Netherlands can be inconsistent at times. I don't know, but I'll still give them the result. 2-1. 2-1.
2-1, and remember the Netherlands have scored 2 and above goals in each of their
Group games.
and as well as qualifying. So even that time when they were playing, or was it Germany?
Yes.
So it should be a good performance. Then what's the last one?
It's not the last one. Croatia and Spain.
Croatia, Spain. If the Spanish miss the way they did against 5-0,
But they missed a lot of chances.
It was a flat in Scotland, but Morata, he needs to do better. For me, he needs to do better. Pedri, Morata, Gerard Moreno.
Yes.
They need to finish. If it's gonna be, and we know Croatia. Every game they've played, they are not your brightest, but they know how to take moments. Perisic, Modric, given a chance, they're gonna score. We know, outside of the foot.
Yes. That was a special goal.
Perisic, cut in, right foot, left foot. They will destroy you. They will definitely.
So I say 1-0 Croatia.
And if Rebic finds those shooting boots he had at Milan in this game,
I'm saying 1-0 Croatia.
I'll go for 2-1 for Spain.
Okay.
2-1
Great.
for Spain.
The second last game now.
Second last game.
France and Switzerland.
Switzerland are going home.
They've been so poor, eh?
Switzerland are going home.
I think they only beat Turkey because Turkey were poorer than them.
Turkey was just poor the whole tournament.
Yeah.
They lost to every single team.
Every single team. Yeah, I'm going for a win for France. 2-0. Because France didn't score a lot of goals, so I'll just say 2-0.
2-0. And I have to be very honest. It's not going to be easy playing teams that were in that France, Germany, Portugal group.
Because those are top teams.
Those are top teams, and also the way they progressed. They're going to know that, okay, they survived, but they will have encouragement of, we almost lost, but as a big team, we were there, but now we're here, so we need to, uplift it. So I think France against Switzerland,
Switzerland are going home.
I love Mbolo, I love to see him how he shoots the ball and everything and stuff, Shaqiri, but
they're going home. Don't feel sorry for them, they're going home.
Yeah. But I like an underdog, I always like an underdog.
Yeah, of course, everyone does.
But
Sweden and Ukraine.
Ukraine are going home.
Yeah, same here.
Ukraine are going home. I'll look at that performance against Poland. Sweden against Poland. Forsberg.
He was on fire. He was on fire.
If he takes that form into the round of 16.
Yes.
Ukraine are going home.
And maybe gets a little bit more help from that kid. What's his name? Isak. Isak looks talented. If he can just bring more to the table,
Isak,
as well,
you know,
they're gonna beat Ukraine.
I like the lad. So yeah, I think ultimately that's about it really.
Yeah.
But I do have to say we did call these other games underdogs, but in terms of a watch, good watch, I would advise everyone to have a watch for it, and it should be an interesting
game.
It should be interesting games. I think all of them should bring in some form of drama, and I don't know why I have this mentality, but I always like to watch like a fun game. I wouldn't mind if there are fluctuation of emotions, between the Belgium-Portugal game or the Germany-England. But at the end of the day, I hope my predictions will settle it. Yeah. If I miss, I'll rewind this clip and remind myself.
If England win versus Germany, we need to get a clip of you kissing the emblem with the the three lions.
The three lions.
Yes.
Nah, I will. I'll definitely do that.
Okay, yeah, so that's great. That was it for episode of The Lead-In. We've got more episodes coming, when we get to the quarters and the semis. So just subscribe and click that notification bell so that you get updates for all the new content that's going to be coming from this channel. And it's a lot better that we have this guy now, so I can be beating him, and I have someone to beat.
Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Chris again.
I'm Tinashe.
Our host. Thank you very much for having me on the show as always. Then now we'll meet again in the next episode for the quarterfinals.
Goodbye.
Thank you for watching TK Sports. For more awesome content from this channel, please subscribe. And also engage with us on our social media platforms down in the description below.